Okay, this time the sound of traffic again. Probably have to cut down on opening with sound of traffic, but this time I'm broadcasting, or at least recording, from Crowborough in East Sussex. Not an exotic place. Probably does have some memories of childhood. I didn't live too far away from here as a child. But really I wanted to just do kind of a festive podcast, PLODCAST, approaching Christmas. It's now Christmas Eve. I'm hoping to do one on Christmas Day. But yeah, so I was trying to think of a way I could connect Crowborough to either films or my documentary, South Korean documentary. I wanted to use, excuse me, with a sniffle there. Wanted to use the letter C, Crowborough. Various things I could have chosen. Christmas is one. Coffee, because I met family for coffee today. Some other stuff came up, which is not really worth talking about, not really necessary to talk about, but the word contact and the word, you could say, court battles, but I'm not going to go into that. I just wanted to mention it. Basically, I was going to just use Crowborough and Corea spelt Corea, as opposed to the more well-known and modern spelling of Korea, which is with a K. And many people may know this, but the main reason it became Korea with a K was when, after the Japanese occupation of Korea, they wanted I'll sum it up basically, they wanted the word Korea, the country of Korea, to appear after Japan in an alphabetical list of countries, so Japan would be first, JK. Now that's hardly much research, I just know that, and I'm sure many people do, but as I say, I wanted to connect this to films, be it Korean films that I've seen, or the Korean documentary that I'm making, and also the Korean projects I deal with quite regularly, which I'll share more about in the future. I touched on the word coffee earlier, and I was going to mention the fact that I know I've met quite a few Koreans who work in, let's say, well-known branded coffee shop establishments throughout London. Some brands, some chains more than others, franchises or chains. I'm not going to go into the names of them. One does begin with C, although I was thinking of more the one beginning with S. So I'll stop talking nonsense about that. But the thing is, I seem to find that many of these coffee places do have very often at least one Korean person that works there, and I just, I know that many people come here, if they're not coming to the UK from Korea to study, they're sometimes here to work, and that might mean working many hours, possibly not much money, possibly even working on Christmas Day, and I guess you've just got to have a heart for Koreans or any foreigners or anyone who works in coffee shops in the UK or abroad. They're not probably treated the best pay wise, but they seem to put up with or enjoy the work while they do it. And lastly, Crowborough, this being a small town, I kind of wanted to just mention this sort of small town on the outs, nowhere near London, nowhere near Koreatown, nowhere near a big city. You're not likely to find too many Koreans living here, or other Asians. Oh no, sorry, that's a bit of a lie. You'll probably find lots of probably Indian, Pakistanis and what have you live here, somewhere near here. We're never short of Indian restaurants in the country, that's for sure. Has a kind of deep-rooted heritage in the last 60, 70 years, I guess. Well, probably less than that, but within that time. and it reminds me of another sort of a town. Someone I know who goes to these protests I mentioned recently, this Sewol Park and Hay protests in London. I mean, she travels all the way from Fareham, and I think she's pretty much the only Korean that lives there. And again, that's she's actually someone who's actually got another C word as a pet, a cat. I don't know why I'm just using this as the letter C for this podcast, but hey, why not? So yeah, I just wanted to do a little broadcast, because whenever I go somewhere new, whether that be a new country, new city, new town, or somewhere I haven't recorded from before, I like to basically record from. So I thought I'd choose Crowborough while I'm visiting a sibling of mine. As I say, it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day tomorrow. When this gets actually uploaded, I mean, I don't want to upload podcasts every day, and I guess they're probably going to be on average weekly, and I will pick a day that becomes a regularity for, or I think that's a word, irregularity definitely is. But anyway, I'm drifting off the subject, as I often do. So yeah, that's it. I'm probably going to close this podcast, just give festive greetings, whether this be December, January, you listen to this, or even later, or whenever you want to. You can I'll mention as well, my podcasts that I've recorded and uploaded so far can be found on YouTube, can actually be found on iTunes as well, where you can download them or just listen to them. Also on SoundCloud. And also, they kind of originate from Spreaker, which is Spreaker. But if you look up any of those, look up Mr Verney, he might even come up under Native Nomad Pictures, my film company. I'm going to try and somehow link these podcasts into my website, where all this kind of originated from 5 or so years ago, which is at minimovies.com. It's minimovies.com, or at minimovies with an S on Twitter or Instagram. There's many other places that I do post things, or do whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. But I'll mention some other links at a later date. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I will say festive greetings again, and wishing you all the best, and I will say goodbye. So, au revoir, goodbye.